On This Morning in America, new this morning, New York healthcare workers are facing a mandate today: get the vaccine or stay home. Who the replacements will be for those who don't get the shot, pending an emergency order. Train tragedy: 3 people killed, more than half a dozen injured. Passengers thrown when an Amtrak train derails. The latest in the investigation, and we'll hear from those who were on board.
I want you to be inspired, Michael. That's what we're looking for.
Gabby Petito remembered as mourners flood her memorial, but still no sign of her boyfriend. Where the search stands now. And bracing for another storm, what the impact of Hurricane Sam could be on the U.S. and the path that forecasters say follows the same devastating track as Sandy. The lights are on Broadway, shining brightly for the Tony Awards. All the big winners and the moments you have to see. It's Morning in America. All right, let's do this. Yes, coming to you live from our NewsNation headquarters in Chicago. It's Morning in America, and it's our first official day on air. I am literally jumping out of my seat right now. My name's Adrienne Bankert. Pleased to meet you if I haven't yet. We are so grateful for every member of our team, people here in Chicago, hundreds of owned stations nationwide. And y'all, we have 6,000 journalists on our team all over the country. In studio, I'm pleased to have Nick Smith with me, Sloan Glass, and Gerard Bailey. And we are honored to bring you the news in a straightforward and impartial way. As host of this show, you have my word. We are going to bring you the biggest headlines, yes, but we'll also bring you stories that inspire, bring hope, and move us forward as a country. It's about time. So let's get started. We have a lot to get you caught up on for us. What did you find?
Adrienne, you know, you and Paul just touched on this. So I wanted to turn to the NewsNation Smart Board to help me break down these numbers and show everybody at home exactly what we're talking about. Currently, 75% of Americans over the age of 12 have received at least one shot of the COVID vaccine. But if you factor in those who are under the age of 12 and those who are ineligible, that number is closer to 65%. But 213 million Americans are right now vaccinated, but experts say that we need at least 248 million Americans to be vaccinated in order to reach that favored herd immunity. But I want to go to the next screen because this is where it gets interesting. Once it opens up, like Paul alluded to earlier, to those between the ages of 5 and 11, another 28 million Americans would be eligible for the vaccine. Right now, parents are saying that, hey, 25% of those are saying, I don't want my child to get that shot. That would mean only 21 million Americans would be getting the vaccine if they rolled up their sleeve. Currently, 213 million Americans who are vaccinated. Another 21 million Americans could get vaccinated, getting us to 234 million Americans, Adrienne, with the vaccine. But we need another 14 million in order to reach that 248 million goal.
Nick, I'm glad you're doing the math because those were a lot of big numbers.
It's a team.
Bottom line, Gerard.
Good morning, Adrienne. Yes, Sam really exploded in intensity over the weekend. Sort of on the weak side to begin. Now, Category 4 hurricane still way out in the Atlantic. That's the good news. It is over open water, but it continues to churn winds 130 miles per hour. And it is still an impressive-looking storm, although it has weakened considerably just overnight. We're going to be watching this thing to still maintain quite a bit of strength as it heads likely to the north and west over the next 5 days, coming very near to the island of Bermuda. You can see it right there by Saturday. The good news is that the steering flow that we have is going to take it away from land. There has been some discussion. Is this going to do what Sandy did? The answer is almost certainly
Start of COVID again.
And your Christmas gifts. Get your list, check it twice. It may be time to order now.
Well, we're grateful that you're digging deep for us. We have weather, more weather to come for you. Sloan Glass is going to be bringing us some entertainment news. We've got a flurry of high-stakes financial deadlines converging on Capitol Hill this week. Democrats in Congress are now saying they plan to slash the price tag of their $3.5 trillion proposal to expand the social safety net and curb climate change problems.
I know the budget committee passed a resolution calling for $3.5 trillion, but it sounds like you acknowledge that the final number is going to be somewhat smaller than that.
Yeah, correct. correctly.
That's
it's a mouthful. And worth every word. Okay, so Dr. Trotter, throughout this pandemic, we've heard about the lack of ICU beds,
Yes.
the heightened hospitalizations, especially during the peak of the pandemic, all due to COVID-19. But right now, we're seeing fewer hospitalizations and fewer deaths, thank God.
Yes.
But we're also still pressured in the ICU. So is there anything else contributing to this lack of beds?
Well, you know, it's great news that we're getting a lack of hospitalized COVID-19 patients. The big issue is, though, when you're a COVID-19 patient that's requiring ICU care.
Weather, all kinds of action. Our pretty news.
After delays, we got Broadway's big night. It had us dancing. Perfect way to kick off the week.
All right, perfect way to kick off the week right here in studio on day one of It's Morning in America.
There's a million things
For the singer. And Broadway is back. We have the top moments of the 2021 Tony Awards. See the recap after the break. And I'm heading back to my roots. We're taking a look at the untold. To transport us to the Great White Way. And this award ceremony had to be more celebratory than possibly any before it.
Exactly, because we all waited so long, especially Broadway buffs like me who live for a night where you get to experience the best, your old friends reuniting. Finally, the 74th Tony Awards were held last night, the postponed show recognizing Broadway's achievements during the 2009.